general nerdery.
So 100 episodes in. I considered looking back to our first episode, listening to it, seeing how we've grown, seeing how we've become better or worse people, yada, yada, yada. Definitely better podcasters.
And maybe worse people?
Probably worse people. And then I just looked at the regular amount of anxiety I get just from looking at Facebook memories and decided I didn't want to listen to myself do that for an hour and a half.
No, I guess that's fair.
It's the danger of looking at old work, particularly one where you've never done it before. Welcome to General Nerdery, your podcast about liking things. I'm Zach.
I'm Tyler.
And as, well, it's our 100th episode, so yay!
Huzzah!
We talked about trying to do something special for this, but this is a hard show to do something special for.
Yeah, I honestly, this is the wrong time of year for me to try to think of something special.
Also seasonal depression.
And just work burnout.
Yeah, we are. This is coming out, what, you said right around Christmas?
By the time it comes out, probably like a week before or something like that.
So yeah. And we're recording it about maybe 2 weeks, week and a half after Thanksgiving. So for those of us that work in grocery stores, this is what we call the tired season.
Yeah. So many people eating so much food.
So many out of stocks that they do not believe that we don't have in the back.
Oh, I'm so good at just walking to the back and timing a correct amount of time to walk back out and have them believe me.
So, how was your weekend? Okay, it's been 2 minutes. Gotta go.
Yeah.
Anyways, what have we been ingesting?
What have we been ingesting? Honestly, quite a bit still.
Oh my god, I have a lot this week.
Firstly, like you said, this is a couple weeks after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving hadn't hit the last time we recorded. I think we recorded 2 days, 3 days before it.
I don't remember, but close enough, yeah.
Something like that.
We meet every week, but not for the same podcast, so I get confused.
And sometimes it's multiple times a week because of the other podcast.
The other podcast.
So, yeah, I don't remember when is when now. All I know is that since last time Thanksgiving happened, but Thanksgiving happened right off the back of me coming off of Reservation Dogs Season 2 and being mostly indigenous myself, so I was really feeling that this Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Didn't it just win a big award?
Oh, I think so. I mean, it better have. It's
something. I don't think it was an actual award. I think I was reading something that some magazine or website or something declared it the show of the year.
Oh, yeah. Well,
which isn't a real thing, but still great.
Yeah, it deserves it. It's
yay for
definitely
me remembering half-remembered Facebook posts.
Right. I'm not sure if it's my number one show of the year, but it's way up there. I'd have to think about it more. Anyway, that's
Our
not
Flag
the point.
Means Death might be my show of the year, but...
So I was sitting there, and the Illuminative account had made a playlist of a bunch of indigenous artists to listen to on your Thanksgiving weekend.
Good job.
And so I was like, okay, I'm going to listen through to this because I'm feeling it right now. And I ended up cracking out on this song. The artist's name is Frank Waln. He's Sengaku Lakota. And the song is What Made the Red Man Red. You know the song.
Yeah,
And
the song that I've never forgiven Disney because it's the catchiest fucking song in that movie.
It's so fucking catchy. It's so fucking catchy.
I'm not... Understand, I am aware of how fucking racist that song is. I am not defending that song. I am saying that when it plays, it's a bop and it will be stuck in your head for days.
Well, here's a version to listen to.
Thanks.
Now, I'm still going to throw out there that listening to this in public, if the people aren't paying attention to the verses, it's going to sound real bad.
Yeah, it's what makes the Red Man red.
Yeah, and the chorus is just a remixed version of that same chorus.
Yeah.
The difference is this song is that chorus is asking a question, right? Mm-hmm. So the verses in this song answer that question. What made the Red Man red? Fucking racism and genocide.
I assumed that was somewhere along the lines, yes.
I've probably listened to that song 3 times a day since Thanksgiving. At least. I've cracked out hard on it. I fucking dig it. I dig a lot of his other stuff too. White War is really good. Aboriginal's really good. But it's also very activist-y, and I can't listen to it all the time because it gets sad.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh man, Spotify did its Wrapped, so like, here's what you've been listening to. And one, I found out I spend too much time on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because I listen to it when I go to bed. I'll put on like a podcast, and I'm like, you've listened to this one podcast a lot. Like, a lot. It was basically going, are you okay?
See, it's funny. My Spotify listening this year actually went down because I've been listening to more audiobooks on Audible.
Right. I've almost stopped. I haven't stopped using Audible, but the amount, like, it's 100% swapped.
Mm-hmm. So that's something. I have now watched all the way through Andor twice.
I'm getting caught up on it. He just got arrested where I'm in.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so good. There's only so many hours in the day.
Well, like, I finished it, and then when I got to the end of the show, I'm like, oh, this is something from Star Wars that my girlfriend will actually like. So I was like, hey, come try this.
Those first 3 episodes, I understand why they are what they are. They're kind of rough on their own. They're just so slow and not bad.
They kind of need to be to set up the rest of it.
And I get it. They are. But, like, I'm glad I saw Rogue One before I watched this so I could be like, I know what these guys can do. I know where this is leading to. I trust them to, like, take me there.
Well, let me say, on someone who has not seen Rogue One...
You've not seen Rogue One?
No. But Margaret hasn't.
Okay, I was going to say, what the fuck, Tyler?
This show works just as well.
Good!
We ended up doing it in 2 sittings, only because we did have to sleep at some point.
Yeah, I kind of wish I could just do it in 2 sittings.
We did, I think, the first 10 episodes in a block.
Jesus Christ. It makes me anxious, but not in a way that I don't want to watch. Like... There are some shows, like The Office, makes me anxious in ways that I just can't. I can handle about 1 TikTok episode. Like 1 TikTok length video of The Office. Longer than that, and I start just like crawling out of my skin. But with Andor, I'm like, oh god, I'm so uncomfortable. Play the next one.
So, I love it. That might be my #1 show of the year. Andor is fantastic.
I haven't finished it, so I can't say it yet. But it easily could be.
I am now one of those people that have watched all up to the current episode of White Lotus.
I don't even know what that is, honestly.
Yeah,
I know what Aubrey Plaza is.
In this latest season. Yeah, there was a bunch of, like, I didn't know what it was about.
I don't.
At all.
I got nothing.
All I had heard was a lot of, like, internet bumbly, because it's something, like, that's super in the mainstream right now, and it's like Euphoria ended, so all those people needed something else to watch.
Oh, I didn't know Euphoria ended.
Well, I mean, it's in between seasons.
Okay, yes.
Basically, that's what I've been able to gather, is like, this sounds weird to say.
This is television.
This is not genre. This is the big normie thing right now.
We say as we watch Star Wars and Marvel nonstop.
This is the big normie thing right now for a couple reasons. First off, I love the show. I hate most of the online discourse around it, and I'm trying to actively avoid it now that I've, like, dipped my toe in it a couple times.
I'm going to say I understand, but then I'm going to ask why. Other than the fact that most online discourse I'm increasingly thinking is trash.
So it's an anthology murder mystery drama series. That's
I could see
black
that going,
comedy drama.
I could see that going really weird directions.
About extremely, extremely rich, extremely pretty people.
Yeah.
And there are indictments of some of the characters. There are subtleties in some of the writing. I'm not going to say that they aren't there, but it seems like the popular thing to call this show is a, like, biting social satire, which it is not. It's a really well done murder mystery black comedy drama about basically the 1%.
It's a nibbling social satire.
Yeah, it's...
No, I get it. I know exactly the kind of show that you're talking. I'm like, Arrested Development kind of has, although that is much more
honestly, the best thing I could compare it to in watching the show and then reading some of those things online is it's the, once again, quote unquote, normie version of, well, you have to be smart to understand Rick and Morty.
Oh, no. That sentence made me angry, and I don't dislike... I've only seen, like, 3 episodes, but, like...
Amazing. You don't have to be smart.
No.
It helps for some of the episodes because they do get layered and deep. But
In fact, most of the people that claim they're smart enough for Rick and Morty aren't.
right. And it's even more infuriating because like there will be the same place, like the same places that these like, oh, we're so high and mighty for watching White Lotus because it is this biting social satire. Will then the next day be like, are Portia's outfits trash? Can they even be called outfits? One of the characters in this new season.
Portia, okay.
And I'm like, I hate you. First off, her outfits are amazing and are half the reason why I have a giant crush on her. But
also, shut the fuck up.
that being said, I'm really enjoying it for like the murder mystery aspects, the drama, the black comedy. It's all great. It's all 100% just like a show about really rich, really pretty people. And legitimately, I think a couple of the characters in each season would qualify as the 1%.
Oh, yeah. That does not surprise me. It's kind of why I like watching Bond films.
Mm-hmm.
Probably very rich, extremely attractive people of all types hanging out and in that one shooting each other, but you know.
And the murder mystery part is also really fun because of the way it's set up, because it's not just trying to figure out who the killer is. It's who's the victim. Each season opens with some version of, oh my God, somebody was murdered at this resort, and you don't know who was murdered. And then it goes 1 week earlier, and you know that.
Oh, so you go back, and then you're going to be like, which one will die?
And it's like, which one will die, and who did it? At the same time as you're going through it.
I really like that setup.
Yeah.
That's actually super interesting.
Yeah, I'm loving that setup.
That almost sounds like Knives Out. I mean, Knives Out, so you know who's dead at the beginning, but that, like, rich, shitty people and murder mystery. I'm losing track of that there.
Well, and the first season, you know at least one of the people that survive, because you do see them in that opening setup. The second season,
it could be anyone.
It could be anyone, and there's multiple deaths. And all you know is where the bodies were found.
I feel like that show would drive me up a wall. Not in a bad way.
Like I said, it is really good. They are saying incredible things. This latest season, I think the writing is even better than the first. It is doing a lot of commentary on the transactional nature of relationships, whether it's a relationship that you think of as being transactional or not.
Especially at that level of rich, it becomes much more transactional, much easier.
But whatever. To end it off with something genre, I guess I'll also throw out, like, I had watched the first episode when it dropped and didn't bring it up on the pod, but last weekend I spent an afternoon with a friend getting all caught up on like the 8 episodes of Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War that's out now. It's fucking bonkers and I'm loving it. It's so good. It's all the reasons why Bleach was always my favorite of the big three to begin with. So
I started getting back into Bleach a couple of years back. Back into Bleach because I read it at least up through when they're sent into the spirit world with the big cannon thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so I know that's not far into the series, but like it was.
But it's a long enough running series that's also a decent chunk into the series.
That was like 15 to 20 volumes. Like it was not an insignificant amount in. And then I picked up the first 3 volumes in one, and I started reading it, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. And I put it down, and I just never picked it up again. So
it's a hard one to pick back up because there's just so much of it. And there's so many characters. There are so many characters.
I have like 1 volume left of Naruto from when I was doing the reread like 2 years ago. But it's been like 2 years. So I'm going to have to go back a couple volumes, and I haven't figured out where where I can go back to. Because I'm like, oh, well, I could go back. No. I could go back to, oh, God. And now I'm realizing, like, I don't have to go back all the way to the beginning.
Right.
That's 80 volumes. I'm not doing that.
But you definitely need to back
But
up
the best jump-in point is the time gap jump. I don't know if you ever read or watched Naruto.
No,
but
I know a little bit of it through osmosis.
in the anime, they change it to Shippuden.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I read it, not watched it. But there's a like 3-year time gap. And that's probably the best place to jump back in.
Okay.
That's also like 40 volumes back. Like,
That's not insignificant by any amount.
So I'm sitting here looking at it being like, literally, I have one... I mean, it's like 200 pages, but it's not... I just... Oh, God. I might just have to be like, I've been wanting to read Boruto, the follow-up, at least a little bit. I might just have to be like, all right, I skimmed it. I vaguely remember what was happening. Naruto powered up again like 15 to 20 times.
Now, from what I'm... So this is actually... The 1,000-Year Blood War is the only arc in Bleach that I didn't read. I read up to it, have never read it, and then they canceled it. And then I sort of fell away from anime and manga for a bit.
Yeah, that was why I never finished Bleach, because I fell out of manga for years.
Yeah. So, them finally animating it is what's getting me back to it. But from some of the things I've read about it is that this might actually be the slightly superior version, because those last chapters in the manga were actually rushed more than the anime is.
Well, coming back, they're allowed to give it a little more breathing room.
So they're actually fleshing out some scenes that were only mentioned in the manga.
I'm not always the manga is superior. I usually think the comic that the thing is based off is superior, but like, especially when there are various reasons that something didn't get finished in a way that you might not want. And then when the creator is... I don't know if the creator is a big part of this.
I believe he is, but from what I understand.
It sounded like that to me as well. But if you get to come back and be like, okay, let's...
You're giving me more time?
Do this right, but let's tackle some... Neil Gaiman did it with Good Omens.
Absolutely.
American Gods did a few different things. Gaiman wasn't as involved in that one. He was very involved, but he wasn't...
Martin did it with the episode he wrote for season 2 of Game of Thrones.
Which one was that?
Blackwater. Where they actually attack King's Landing and Tyrion leads the defense.
Oh, yeah, okay.
There's a scene in the beginning of that episode where Bronn and the Hound have a conversation, because they never did in the book.
Fair enough.
And Martin was like, these characters have a lot to say to each other.
They should have a conversation. Yeah. That's fair. I never read past the first book, so we've discussed my Game of Thrones stuff ad nauseum. It's fine.
But oh my god, it's beautiful, because I love the stylization.
We're back on Bleach?
Okay. I love the stylization of Bleach anyway. And like when the anime got canceled, the mangaka was like, cool, I get to end this however I want. Like, I don't have to think about the fact that it's going to be like adapted and go through standards and practices, and I have to deal with this producer. I can be as violent
as I want. I don't have to worry about animators choking me for the amount of things that I'm going to make them animate.
Well, and I think there was at least a little bit of a rivalry between his writing and one of the producers for the anime, because one of the anime producers was convinced that his favorite ship should happen, and it was two characters that the original author meant to be more of a brother and sister relationship.
Was it
Rukia and Ichigo?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, Tite Kubo's like, they should be more like brother and sister. And one of the producers on the anime is like, I really want them to hook up.
And a dedicated part of the fan community. Like, that is people have opinions.
So, like, basically, anytime it was a filler season, they were on the verge of hooking up. And anytime it was a season based off of the manga, they were like, yo, what's up, bro?
The amount of clickbait articles that I've seen debating who Ichigo should have ended up with. Not that the girl he ended up with was that interesting from my memory, but
I think it should be no one, personally.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't need a romance in the end of everything. I had the same feeling about Naruto.
But it was a lot of like, cool, I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to deal with that. I can end it however I want. I'm going off the fucking rails. And there's already been a lot of major character deaths.
Yeah, man. So that was in your Blood War or whatever the fuck it's called.
I love it.
Okay.
And just really cool new designs on some of the characters, too.
That's nice. Let's see. So I was sick for a couple of days. And I was the kind of sick where I was like sitting on the couch, annoyed I couldn't do things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sitting there being like, I feel mostly fine. I'm wasting my paid leave. I have vacations planned. I'm going to show them, and I'd get up to make noodles and be like, I'm going to die. I can't. I'm going to... So, a lot of drawing, a lot of reading, a lot of watching TV. I went from the Thrawn trilogy, which I mentioned last week, and I've been catching up on a lot of the Marvel Star Wars comics. Okay.
Something I need to do myself.
I have some Dr. Aphra on order, so really looking forward to that. And I kind of jumped forward a bit, and I read I've read the main crossover, and now I'm reading the side books, and remembering why I don't do big crossover comics very often anymore, of War of the Bounty Hunters, which is a crossover book that tied in all of the active Marvel books.
Okay.
It's good.
Who are the main bounty hunters at war?
The idea is all of the Marvel comics right now take place between Empire and Jedi.
Okay.
So, because before they were doing between New Hope and Empire. And like Charles Soule, who's been writing, he's one of the best Star Wars writers of all time. Like, he's really working his way up to that between his novels and his High Republic stuff and these things. The very first issue of the main Star Wars series that he's writing takes place after Cloud City, but before Luke gets his hand.
Okay.
Like, it's that flight. So, the war is... Spoilers on this, if you care about spoilers for a big Marvel thing. The Crimson Dawn comes back, and they manage to steal away Han Solo in Carbonite from Boba Fett.
Oh, shit.
And they put him up on auction.
Oh, shit.
So Boba Fett is trying to get his fucking bounty back. Jabba the Hutt is trying to get his Han Solo that he ordered. Luke and Leia and Lando and Chewbacca are trying to get their fucking friend back. Dr. Aphra just got pulled into this whether she likes it or not because she wanted to steal shit from this auction.
Okay.
And Boba Fett threatens her into helping. A guy that I don't think you would know, a bounty hunter named Valance.
Valance.
He was in the original Marvel comics, and then they brought him back.
Okay.
For, he's the main character in a book just called Bounty Hunters.
Gotcha.
Right now. Because the 4 running Star Wars titles is Star Wars, which is...
human? Is
Droid Man.
Droid Man? Okay.
He's got like a half-robot face.
Sweet.
And he's got a blaster, a hand blaster that is literally just a blaster built into his hand.
Okay.
He was a TIE pilot when Han Solo was in the Academy. And he was in a big TIE crash and lost too much body to be allowed. So the Empire just kind of like stuck some shitty droid parts on him and threw him out on the street. So he got himself rebuilt and became a bounty hunter, and he's eternally kind of falling apart, but he's also
pretty badass.
Kind of great, yeah. And he feels like he owes Han a debt because Han saved him when he crashed in that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
He keeps teaming up with people like Forlom and Zuckuss and all of the like Empire bounty hunters, and going up against Boba Fett. And
any Bosk?
Bosk, yes, shows up multiple times. And it all really points out that those might be great bounty hunters, but they're sure not fucking Boba Fett.
I'm okay with that.
But, as I said, it's Star Wars, which is Luke, Leia, Lando, and Chewie. Dr. Aphra, which is Doc Aphra, and Sana Staros, who... Did you read any of the Marvel stuff when they first started?
No.
When they first introduced herself, she was claiming to be Han Solo's wife, but it was part of a grift.
I know who you're talking about.
She's great. Yeah. I really enjoy her. There's the Darth Vader series.
Yeah.
And then there's Bounty Hunters, which is mostly about Valance, but it involves several, Bosk shows up, Boba Fett shows up, Dengar shows up. And then Kira from Solo is back.
Sweet.
Because she's running Crimson Dawn now, and she's trying to make a second empire to take out...
Oh, okay.
She's kind of Shizor from the Black Sun from the old I can't think of what that book was, but without
Shadows of the Empire.
Shadows of the Empire, without the awkward rapey shit
Okay.
that Shizor was all about.
Yeah.
God, I loved Shizor when I was a kid, and then I learned, like, I grew up and read it again and went, oh no.
I never read the book. I only played the game. So
I read it a bunch.
although I did play the game a shit ton.
I wanted to play the game a shit ton, but I had a PlayStation, not an N64. So I'm getting caught up on that. Bounty Hunters is one of the better comics on the market right now. It's, at least of the mainstream titles, it is really good. Let's see. What else? I watched a bunch of Deep Space Nine, the early season stuff, which is the stuff that a lot of people are like, you just kind of give it a skip. Just go to season 4 when the, like, big Dominion War shit starts happening. Don't. The early stuff is slow. It's very, very slow, but it's really good because it is about, we're this, like, middle of nowhere station that through complete fucking accident suddenly became one of the most, like, potentially important areas in the entire galaxy. We have, like, 3 shuttles and a doctor that just got out of the academy and doesn't know what's happening. How the fuck do we deal with this? So it does a really good job of
How the fuck do they deal with that?
Yeah. I mean, if you want fun action shit, you want the second half. But, like, the build-up is really good, honestly. There's some great character work. And then, first 2 episodes, the episodes of Willow that have come out.
Oh shit, I watched those as well.
The characterization's a little all over the place, but I mostly like it. I'm really enjoying it.
I mostly like it, definitely to the point where I'm going to keep watching it. Some of it is falling super flat for me.
I want to choke the main princess.
Yeah?
I recognize that she's being a big brat, and that's, like, part of a character arc and stuff. There are a lot of characters that we kind of just got introduced cold to. And I'm having a hard time because I don't feel like any of them are getting the development that I want from them. And I know Willow just dropped characters on us, like, bam, 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 bam. But it only had an hour and a half, and they were, I don't want to say generic enough characters, but, like, basic enough characters that you immediately understood who these characters were. I have no idea what their fucking plan is with, like, the fiance of the princess for political reasons. I think he's a bard, basically. Like, he's got the flute.
Yeah, Tony Revolori.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I like the show. I'm going to, especially enough to keep watching it. I'm super curious what's coming up. Some of it's falling super flat. Tony Revolori in the first, like, episode and a half seems to basically be reading his lines off a page. And it's kind of part of the fact that his character is supposed to be super oppressed by his father. But, like, I've seen him act. And this, I don't know. Parts of it, here's what I am going to say. I think, I can't remember the actor's name, but Borman, our new Mad Mardigan, is fucking killing it.
Love him.
Love him to death. He is 100% exactly what he needs to be. He is just destroying the role. I just kind of feel overall like all, like, family friendly, all ages adventure romp is really hard to write.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're trying really hard, but they're not getting it.
Well, and they're trying to own the fact that this is generic fantasy. Mm-hmm. Which isn't I say generic and we automatically think bad. It's not a bad thing, but it's filling several tropes that a lot of fantasy has not been trying to do lately. Lately, it's been, like, grim and gritty fucking Game of Thrones or whatever. And again, those are great too. But these characters are almost fucking Dragonlance characters. Like,
yeah,
the roles that they fill. The problem is we were introduced to Elora Danan.
I think they should have stretched that reveal.
I actually appreciate that Willow had no time for, like, the mystery. But, like, we're introduced to Elora Danan, Prince Fuckboy, Brad...
Eric?
Sure. Princess Probably a badass, but definitely needs to get her head out of her own ass.
Kit?
Romantic interest Night Lady.
Yeah, I can't remember her name at all.
And Prince Fiancé for political reasons. The guy we were just talking about.
Yeah, Flash Thompson.
Oh my god. Oh, you god, I didn't put that together until right now. Yes. All of those characters, and none of them, I mean, obviously Prince Fuckboy, he's kidnapped and we're not seeing him. That's fine. But even with the other four, none of them are really getting a whole lot of room to have anything more than like the barest surface level stuff. And I think all of them have the potential. And we're talking about the first 2 episodes of what, a 10 episode series?
Something like that, yeah.
So this can 100% turnaround. But like, I need more. I need moments for them that we're not getting. And we could very easily. I could see Laura Dannon and Kit both getting very good moments in the next episode with the way things are setting up.
I don't know who's writing this series, and I don't want to act like I'm shitting on them too much, because I'm sure it was extremely hard to do. But you know who they should have got to write this? Fucking homeboy that wrote Bone.
Jeff Smith?
Yes.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god! Also, I do know that, like, Mad Mardigan was supposed to be in this. Even with the throat cancers. I read an interview with the guy running the show where the Val Kilmer, like, they were talking and he was so excited to be in it. He fucking loved making Willow. And at the end, he gave him a hug. Like, Val Kilmer gave the Lawrence, I think it's John Kasdan, gave him a hug, and he picked John Kasdan up and went, see, I'm still really strong. I can make your show. And he's like, okay, buddy, wasn't saying you can't. Like, everything I hear, Val Kilmer is a fucking lunatic. Not necessarily he's definitely not in a Kanye West kind of lunatic. Like,
good.
Yes, okay, so that's an extreme example. But, like, you know, there are creators that you're like, you're fucking banana pants. And it's really unfortunate. He just seems like a fucking weirdo that we all kind of love. Even though Val Kilmer mostly just plays Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
But then COVID hit, and he's like, between the fucking throat cancer and a hole in my throat, he could not say it that loud either. And then COVID, he just couldn't. And I 100% do not blame him for any of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really enjoying Mad Mardigan 2 Electric Boogaloo. Like, so far, he is my favorite part.
He's kind of the saving grace of the show.
Fucking love the Cleaver.
The Cleaver's dope.
I keep being thrown with, like, Willow being kind of a shit sorcerer, but it honestly kind of tracks at the same time. Like, it's probably better than the weird book thing where he becomes, like, a half demon shit. Like, that's, you know, this campaign's gone on too long kind of writing.
Never said I was powerful. I said I was a wizard.
And then last night I started Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. So I've heard all sorts of things across the board on it.
All over the map reviews.
I've heard all over the map reviews, but have been surprised by the weird amount of, like, super high praise that I've been seeing coming, especially in just the past couple days.
I have only seen 2 episodes. So, I became much more interested when I found out that Miller and Go were major creators. 'Cause they keep talking about Tim Burton, but I think he just produced it.
I think you're right, yeah.
Like, put his name on it, and I mean, he was involved, but he wasn't, like, the showrunner. I think it's Miles Miller and Alfred. I don't remember their last names. They created Smallville.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They ran the first 5 seasons. So, for better or worse, because, you know, we've made fun of that show a lot. I love that show. They know how to make genre television. They kind of defined how to make genre television for this generation.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. It's a very strange show. I mean, it's the fucking Addams Family. But, like, so far, I'm liking it quite a bit. Now, I don't know the Addams Family super well. Like, I saw the movies, but I was a kid. I know the fucking cartoons. In the original series, how much was it a thing that there were other monsters? I don't even know if you know the Addams Family. I know we know the monsters better than...
Honestly, I probably technically know the Addams a little bit better than the Munsters, but only very slightly. It's like it's a thing, but only within like the Addams' own world.
Okay.
If that makes sense, like family gets together, you're expected to see some monsters.
Because in this one, it's just a thing. It's, there's this school and, like, there's the vampire clique. There's the whatever, and, like, the normies, which is part of the reason why I laughed when you used that word earlier, in the town are just like, oh, it's a school of freaks. How are you not? There's a fucking siren and a bunch of vampires in there. How are you not freaking out more? I miss the other Addams family members because, like,
they're like
it's
barely
Wednesday's
in it,
show.
right?
Yeah. Pugsley has 2 lines. I mean, again, I'm 2 episodes in. This might change more. I know we will get more of the Addams parents. And I know that Fred Armisen plays Uncle Fester, which I'm fucking in love with that idea.
That's fun.
But so far, it's been almost exclusively Wednesday Addams and Thing. Which, cool. But, like, Gomez is my favorite Addams, so I would like to see more Gomez, please.
Right.
Especially because it's Luis Guzman.
I'm going to eventually watch the show. It just, everything I've seen from the outside feels like, well, we really wanted to make Sabrina, but we missed the boat. So we have to choose another character to do this with.
I can see why you thought that. I disagree with that assessment, but not by as much as I want to disagree with that assessment, if that makes any sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, it's
a
very
different
much
monster,
the
but
Addams family, but, like, I get it. Putting Wednesday on her own, and here's this thing. The feel is... Okay, admittedly, I've never seen Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I still haven't watched it.
I still need to finish it. I've only watched the first season.
So I can't compare it to that, but it is so tonally different from, classic Melissa Joy Hart.
Joan Hart, yeah.
Joan Hart, Sabrina. The aesthetic that they're going for, the feel that they're going for is extremely good. I heard some people describe it as a pretty good Hogwarts substitute because people like me are eternally looking for that fix. I think it's pretty similar. There's a comic book series that I've been reading called, I think, Blackwood, that has very similar... It's similar enough that, like, I keep being like, did they read Blackwood?
Maybe they
It's just kind of horror Hogwarts, so it's probably not, but, like, the tropes. They've done some pretty clever tie-ins to, like, she's figuring out this puzzle, and she's going through the various things to figure out how to, like, open the secret door. And then I can't actually snap my fingers, but she figures out the solution and she almost smiles, which is not a thing she does in this show. And she goes, of course, and then does the snap, snap. So, like, I was like, oh, that was good. That's
fun. Like I said, I think I'll probably end up liking it. I just don't see much from the outside that makes me want to be drawn in, other than the fact that I know it's Wednesday Addams.
That's kind of why I started watching it. I am surprised by how much I'm enjoying it, especially because I've heard such wildly varying reviews. Who is that? Jenna Ortega?
Jenna Ortega.
She's great.
Cool. Good.
She's really good.
And I will say, from the trailers, she looked like she was
She's committed to the bit. Jesus Christ. Christina Ricci's in it.
Oh, dope.
I don't think so far she's not in it much.
Okay.
But she's
I'm glad she's in it because...
Ortega talked about how stressful. She was like, holy shit, yeah, Christina Ricci's in. Oh, fuck, I have to be Wednesday Addams in front of
Wednesday.
like
Christina Ricci is Wednesday for all intents and purposes.
I will say, not a single male teenage actor in that has been able to act so far. They're not terrible, but they're just...
Not great.
Heartthrob boy...
Okay.
Fucking, they might recover, but so far each one of them I've been like, man, you are just
here.
You're pretty and pointless so far, my guy. Like,
man, you are here acting, aren't you?
I would have just fucking eaten this show up when I was like 17. I bet you there's a bunch of teenagers that are just so horny for this show.
Yeah, probably.
I am definitely not horny for this show because I'm 34 and Wednesday is a teenager, and that's not, you, but like age appropriate people probably super into her, and I would have been that guy.
Yeah, like I said, I'll probably eventually get to it. I just think I have more things to get through first.
Super fair.
Like, I really need to get caught up on Doom Patrol, but
I need to start Doom Patrol, so I get you.
We do have some trailers.
We have so many fucking trailers. People, for the sake of my podcast, stop.
Or spread them out more.
That's what I mean. Stop doing 5 at a time.
We had weeks where we had
no
barely
trailers.
anything to talk about.
No trailers for 2 episodes.
Oh, so many fucking trailers. Let's do them in reverse order so that I can gradually get more excited.
Yeah, that's kind of how it went, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We watched the Ant-Man retrospective. There's almost nothing from the new movie in it.
Yeah, whatever. Cool.
I do not care about Scott Lang. Paul Rudd is charming.
Paul Rudd's great.
That's fine.
Loves
That's what I got.
I'm still just excited to see what Jonathan Majors does with Kang. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Yep, that's it.
Until I see it.
What was next? Indiana Jones?
Indy.
It looked good. It's Dial of Destiny. I don't think it's a very good name.
I hate the name. I think the name's dumb. Don't put.
It sounds like
don't put Dial in an adventure movie title.
It sounds like he's trying to get the hero Dial, the H Dial from the DC Comics character. I would actually be into that, but
probably a more interesting movie. Okay.
We have been very burned off of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Now, the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull trailer looked better than this trailer. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull trailer also looked amazing, and that movie was not. Although I've been kind of wanting to rewatch it just to see if I still, like, if my opinion will improve at all with how dismally I remember that movie.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of, like, good actors in it that I'm hoping will pull it up, but once again, family-friendly adventure movie is hard to do.
It looks like they're trying to do another replacement Indy because
Shia
LaBeouf's character, who was like Mud or something like that. Mutt.
Just do it.
Didn't really work out, and Shia LaBeouf, time has not been kind to him. If we're going to talk about an actor who sounds like he's a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
Which, cool. I can already feel the neckbeards angry at what, we're gonna have a girl Indy now because it's his goddaughter or something.
Like, well, we should, but it should be Dr. Aphra, not Indy.
Or Laura Croft, or like, there's ways to do it. I hope Harrison Ford tries more than he has tried in the last few things I've seen him in. And you know what? I'm not even blaming. Harrison Ford has never been that heavy duty of an actor, and he's like 80, so you're allowed to be tired if you want.
He's a tired old ornery stoner. Quit trying to put him in your movies.
Let him be that.
Let him be. Let Harrison Ford be. Stop casting him in things.
That's it.
I hope he's Thunderbolt Ross for all of 5 minutes.
He has always loved playing Indy. This has been the one that he's always seemed most passionate about. And if we go off the rule of Indiana Jones movies, theoretically it's due for a good one.
Yeah.
Because it goes good, bad. Hopefully good. Okay, I should not say Last Crusade was good. Last Crusade was decent. I had fun with that one.
Penitent man kneels before God.
Oh, yeah.
What was before
Transformers, Rise of the Beasts.
So it actually looks like it's going to be a shit ton of fun. There's one thing I'm running into that I kind of dislike.
The giant beasts?
No. None of those giant robots seem like they have any mass whatsoever.
Yeah, that's fair.
They are not affecting anything with, like, outside a 1 foot radius of their computer generated model.
I would rather they have used the classic voice for Optimus Primal in the same way that they got, I can't think of his name, Optimus to come back.
Right.
Peter, not Seller.
Anyway, that guy.
That guy. One shall stand, one shall fall. Because, I mean, we've talked about it. Beast Wars is my Transformers. And that dude is my Optimus. But if you aren't going to get that guy, Ron Perlman's a fucking great choice.
Such a good choice, right?
And I like Anthony Ramos enough that he can be the forgettable human in this movie. And that's not a knock on Anthony Ramos. That's any human in any Transformers movie.
Any Transformers movie, Godzilla movie, or King Kong movie.
Yes. Fucking Skull Island is the closest they ever came to interesting humans in a King Kong movie.
And that's only because Tom Hiddleston was kataning pterosaurs in half.
Yeah. And, yeah, Loki and Captain Marvel had their weird, like, jungle adventure romance. And...
Which now I'm just imagining Loki and Captain Marvel in, like, Romancing the Stone, and it's amazing.
And, fucking... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say Kong Skull Island has the best human characters in any of these things we're talking about.
Still mostly forgettable.
Yeah, I remember the actors more than anything else. Anthony Ramos again. It bothers me that the robots in disguise have a cheetah that's bigger than a truck.
Yes.
You have defeated the point. When you are like, I'm sure it's cool. And it works a little better with Optimus Primal, because Optimus Primal was inspired by King Kong. That's why he fights a T-Rex all the fucking time. And in fairness, the size discrepancies in Beast Wars were a little out there, because Rat Trap was a rodent of unusual size from fucking Princess Bride, and Megatron was the runtiest T-Rex ever. A cheetah should not be bigger than a truck.
Megatron's always turned into small things anyway.
I turned into a gun.
I was about to say, he turns into a Walther.
Yeah, but it's a Walther the size of a tank. Starscream uses him. I've always hated that, to be honest. I'm like, my Megatron is a dinosaur.
Not a Walther.
Or not a Walther PB-8. Not a weird tank, although I'll accept weird tank. And the dragon look in the end of Beast Wars is okay, but the dinosaur is better.
The action legitimately just looks fun, though. Like, I kind of want to see that giant battle that they're showing at the end of the trailer.
I have not watched all the way through a Transformers movie since the first one.
That's not a bad call.
Yeah, I watched part of the third one.
Okay.
And I meant to go back to the second one, but then I watched part of the third one and went, oh, I think I'm good. And I want to watch Bumblebee. So we've talked about doing an episode on that. Because I heard that's pretty good. I just, yeah.
Meh.
This one looks like it could be fun. It looks like a popcorn movie. I don't expect more from that. Like,
no.
The others looked like bad popcorn movies. So
I'm almost running into the problem where I think I would have fun watching it, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to prioritize it into my schedule to watch it.
Oh, no. I mean, it's the same reason I haven't watched Bumblebee yet. Like, I'm sure it's fine.
Then are we to the fun one yet?
Mario!
Oh, no, Mario. That's right.
Everything about Mario looks good except for Chris Pratt phoning it in.
Yeah, yo, Jack Black is like the perfect fucking Bowser.
Fucking inspired.
So good. Anya Taylor-Joy.
We don't get much of her yet, but like...
Seems to be great, though.
And the moment where she picks up the fire flower and like starts playing Fire Hand, that looks like it could be really cool. Like, you could do shit with this. And, I mean, we'll talk about it, because Chris Pratt's in the next two things. I know people have kind of turned on Chris Pratt. There's very obvious reasons. He's really committed to a pretty anti-gay church. He's getting a little right-wing with some of his stuff.
Yeah, I saw he definitely, right before the midterms, endorsed a really, really shitty LA politician.
So did Snoop Dogg, wildly.
Yeah.
He was in some weird movies recently. I don't know. Like, Chris Pratt, I understand why people are turning on him. I still have enjoyed him in everything I've seen him in.
Yes.
And I think actually Chris Pratt could have done Mario. He's not trying to do Mario. He's doing Chris Pratt while occasionally going, let's go, or it's a me.
I'm not going to lie, it's maybe the line that was furthest off from what we're used to, but that lets it go when he's going to go, like, gladiator battle Donkey Kong, I kind of bought it because of the situation he was in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not going to give the "let's go" in that situation. You're staring down a giant fucking gorilla and you're like, okay, let's go.
I think this movie looks fun. Every time Chris Pratt talks, it pulls me out of it.
The thing I'm worried about after watching this trailer is that it's going to be far too much of just bouncing from one reference to another.
Mm-hmm. I could see that. I was surprised by some of the things that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, oh, that's straight out of the game in a way that I would not have done.
And, like, I will love to see some of these things. Being a lifelong fucking Mario player. The first video game I remember playing is Super Mario Bros.
Same.
It's one of my...
The double one that had Duck Hunt on it.
Yeah, it's one of my earliest memories with my father. Like, I'm going to cherish that memory forever.
Dad hated it and got rid of the NES when I wasn't paying attention. But yes, similar.
So I'm going to love seeing some of these things brought to life, but I can't have a movie where you're literally just bouncing from one reference to another in that world, because I don't care that much. And what's that story?
Yeah, it's like I learned that there's actually apparently relatively deep lore to Mario. And I went, really? Mario?
Well, what? From what I could gather from this trailer is that Peach is telling him that he's the Mushroom Kingdom's version of Thor, protector of the Nine Realms?
Yeah, basically. There seems to be some prophecy that Mario will save them, and everyone's kind of setting up for it, and Mario's going, wait, what?
Which almost assuredly means that Peach is going to save them.
I fucking hope so.
I wouldn't doubt that her grabbing that fire flower is from, like, in the last third of the movie.
That'd be awesome.
I think everything else is probably from the first 20 minutes, and I think that's probably a pull from towards the end.
Yeah, a lot of it looked like training montage.
Mm-hmm.
But the animation is really good.
Animation is good. Charlie Day's great as Luigi.
Mm-hmm. As we've mentioned, they took away Mario's butt, which is kind of sad, but oh well. I like that we saw little bits of fucking Mario Kart happening in there.
Look, he's on the Rainbow Road. How close to Thor does he need to be?
Right?
We saw the herd of Yoshis. That was cool.
Yeah. The one line actually made you laugh out loud with the toads going, what are we supposed to do? We're adorable.
Yeah, because they are.
They're not wrong.
They gave, like, the big cute eyes. It was fucking adorable.
It could be a lot of fun. It could also be just an hour and a half of look how Mario we are.
I've already saw one article online this week that was entitled Why the super low expectations for the Super Mario Brother movie might work in its favor.
Well, yeah. Okay, in fairness, we all sort of love the old Super Mario Brothers movie.
Look, there's a lot of people these days that like it kind of, like, ironically. I love it non-ironically. I've always loved that movie. That's one of the first movies that let me just separate something else into its own separate headcanon universe and call it good.
I haven't seen it in probably 10 years, so I don't know if I enjoyed ironically or just... I remember being aware that it's not a good movie while also having a lot of fun watching it.
I just love John Leguizamo.
Yep.
There's wild fucking cameos in it.
Oh, it's a bizarre movie.
The dancing sequence in the elevator was something that my family riffed on for just years and years and years.
I'm 100% not surprised that weirdo fucking almost Fallout Mario World is the thing that you were into as a child. Like, that and the Addams Family it explains you so well, my guy.
I saw the Super Mario Brothers movie in theaters.
I will always be curious how they got to that and went, this is Mario.
From what I understand, there's some super wild stories from behind the scenes on that movie.
Oh, I have no doubt.
And the writing of that movie.
Oh, I have no doubt. Okay. Guardians.
I don't know if this is going to be my favorite of the Guardians movies, but I am almost going to guarantee that that fucking movie is going to make me cry if they're going as hard into Rocket and Half-World as it looks like they're going.
It looks like they're borrowing really heavily from the Donny Cates Guardians run where Rocket is dying, so they go to Half-World to try and help him. I'm super in. Adam Warlock is one of my all-time favorite Marvel characters, so really digging seeing him. I saw some people mad that they have like a super pretty boy Adam Warlock, but
Okay, first off, Adam Warlock should be a super pretty boy.
oh, he's all look at that perfectly coiffed hair, like always.
I'm actually surprised that they got Will Poulter to play Adam Warlock, because I never in a million years would have been like, oh, you know who should play Adam Warlock? That awkward little ginger kid over there.
They got the perfectly coiffed hair.
Yeah.
I can't think of the actor's name, but he was Myrn in Peacemaker, and he's playing the High Evolutionary.
Who seems to have one of his experiments on the treadmill.
Uh-huh. I'm betting the High Evolutionary created Half-World in this version, which would make sense.
Yes. That's also the easiest way to bring both of those things together.
It actually works perfectly. Mm-hmm. There's no reason not to do that. High Evolutionary is a lot like Kang. He's not that strong of a villain, but you can do some really good moments with him, so it could be fun. And after watching him play Myrn, I'll fucking do whatever you want, my guy. Like, I believe in you.
I don't know if you caught this. Lots of weird, subtle references to 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I noticed
like down at like the space suits. Once again, I was excited about High Evolutionary having his experiment run on the Thing because of how because of the old school High Evolutionary like upgrade process of his treadmill. But that's also 2001.
Is very like gotta stay in shape. It makes sense. It's a very James Gunn move to make too. As always, the music is top notch. They've knocked it out of the park with their classic rock choices on every one of those.
I haven't watched it yet, but I guess that new ship that we see at the beginning is introduced in the holiday special.
The Bowie, I think it's called. Yeah, I haven't watched the holiday special either. Soon. I will soon.
Same here. Maybe tonight.
Probably not tonight, but soon. By Christmas at the latest.
Yeah.
Maybe on Christmas Day. We'll find out. Probably Muppet Christmas Carol that day. But I don't know why they're in the uniforms, and I'll be really curious to see how they pull that off, considering how much that's not who the movie Guardians have been.
I wonder how much it might be connected to the Nova Corps getting wiped out.
That's fair. I mean, and that's been a common thing of the Guardians kind of
filling in as the space cops.
Not even space cops, but just as like, we deal with the problems. The uniforms look spot on.
Yeah.
They look so good.
They look spot on enough to the point where I'm like, does this uniform actually work live action? Like, it makes me happy seeing it, but it also just looks weird at times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It looks great on Rocket.
It's great on Star-Lord.
It looks good on Star-Lord. It's weird on Chris Pratt.
Okay, yeah.
Because, I mean, again, that Star-Lord, it's probably my favorite Star-Lord costume. If you're going to go for, like, practical good looks, the classic zany, weird bug-eyed Star-Lord from the 70s is my favorite of his costumes. But, like, the Chris Pratt Star-Lord is such a unique character from the Star-Lord from the comics, any version of the Star-Lord from the comics, that it feels... I could be won over. I'm not... I need to see how he progresses from who he was in those previous two movies to this. It looks a little weird on Drax. It's always looked a little weird on Drax when he wears it. At least, though, with Mantis, they're not making her wear a long skirt with it.
Oh, yeah.
Because they did that with Mantis and Moondragon in the series that uniform is based off of. And it was bad. It looked bad.
I'm also just super excited to see how the reintroduction of Gamora works.
I'm real curious about... I wonder how much of this movie was changed thanks to the fact that it wasn't started like 3 or 4 years ago like it was supposed to be. because between COVID and James Gunn getting fired and then rehired,
Well, this is going to be wild too, because this is going to be essentially the last Marvel James Gunn for the foreseeable future.
also it's the last Guardians movie. Drax is not coming back after this. They could bring in other characters, and I kind of feel like they're trying to set up for a few other... It sounds like Zoe Saldana, I read in a separate interview that she's pretty ready to be kind of done with some of these big genre movies.
How many times has she been painted green or blue in the past, like, couple decades?
That poor woman. That said, it would be so easy to spin this off into a, like, proper Adam Warlock and Gamora movie. And it would be a little jarring because they did such a good job, actually, of like the romance between Star-Lord and Gamora, which I'm not usually into, but in the movies it worked pretty well. So it'd be a little weird to suddenly be here like, well, hello, now I'm with Adam Warlock. He's very pretty.
Man, that's still... I like Will Poulter. I'm excited to see what he does. I've been excited... Once again, it wasn't my first idea for casting. I never in a million years would have thought of casting Will Poulter. As soon as they announced it, though, I was like, cool, I'm excited to see what they do with that because he's a great actor. Seeing Will Poulter essentially just painted gold is not what I was hoping for. And I'm hoping as I get to see more of him in action, it comes across a little bit more Adam Warlock-y to me rather than just gilded Eustace Scrub.
Now, in fairness, the species that they have him coming from in Guardians 2 were also very painted gold. So,
oh, shit. Fucking Groot looks ripped.
Yeah. Groot looks like Vin Diesel now. Like, he's just fucking...
Like, Prime Vin.
Yeah! We say Prime Vin. I don't blame Vin Diesel for not trying to keep that up.
Fuck no.
He's like 50.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to keep that up, but I'm 34.
Exactly. No, once again, not a dig at him, but there's a difference.
Yeah. No, at 50, you have to take a lot more steroids than I think Vin is looking to take.
Yeah. But
Groot's taking them steroids.
Yeah. Somebody's been fucking adding some Miracle Grow. I'm excited for it. It feels weird, and I don't know why yet. But something about it feels anticlimactic, finishing this story after
it's because
Infinity War
got
Endgame.
Delayed for so long. Is straight up what it is.
But I also think it's going to make me fucking bawl
Oh,
because of goddamn Rocket.
I do not have concern because I have now watched 4 James Gunn superhero properties. You want to know what my favorite movies of Marvel and DC tend to have been so far? James Gunn.
Yeah.
And Thor Ragnarok. But, like...
but mostly James Gunn.
Yeah, he's so fucking good at this. So, even if it's the weakest of those now 5 things... 6, I haven't seen Guardians Christmas special, but it's supposed to be great.
Yeah.
Even if it's the weakest of all 6 things, it's still going to be better than a solid half the Marvel movies. And I mostly like the Marvel movies.
Where do you think he slipped his wife in? You know he did.
That sounded dirty. I wouldn't be surprised if she was painted bright fucking gold. She was she in either of the previous 2 Guardian movies?
I don't think so.
If she was, it was in the same way that Nathan Fillion was, but you have to know which alien.
Speaking of which, like, the old Guardians crew, I think, are all supposed to be back in this one.
They were supposed to get their own movie.
Right.
Before all of the wild shit with James Gunn happened, he was supposed to pretty much start running his own section of Marvel movies that handled Marvel space. And I was so in. I wanted a James Gunn Nova movie. I wanted a James Gunn Adam Warlock movie. I wanted to see his take on Moondragon.
You guys can't see, but I'm enthusiastically
nodding
because it all sounds fantastic.
Oh my god. And, it's still great.
Mm-hmm. But I noticed, like, even when they're flashing the credits at the end, like, you see the Sly Stallone in there.
Oh, man, if we're going to talk about a guy who's taken too many steroids. Okay. let's take a quick break because this has been the longest first half that we've done in a long fucking time. 5 movies, or 5 trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And when we come back, let's go forth. Okay, so I agree with you with the thing you were saying before. This is the strongest season of Blackadder by a pretty significant margin. It is not Rowan Atkinson's strongest season.
No.
And I can't decide if I think he's phoning it in or if just everyone else stepped up to a high enough level that it became less like this is Rowan's show.
I almost feel like it's based more on the writing, where they figured out how to do jokes for the Blackadder character earlier, and it took more seasons to lock in, well, how do you keep Baldrick true to character, but also give him like legitimate jokes rather than just
punch Baldrick in the face.
Right, or Baldrick dumb. Mm-hmm. Which is still a lot of it, but...
And part of it... Okay, so as we go forth on this, and I didn't mean to do that even. As we talk about this and we compare the different seasons, I at no point am in talking about season 1 when I'm comparing them. Just, it's fine. We've talked about it a lot, but like...
It's almost a different show compared to the other seasons.
So, yeah. This is the calmest Blackadder that we've gotten. This is the least, like... Every other Blackadder has been just obsessed with rising the social ladder.
This Blackadder just doesn't want to die.
Yeah. This Blackadder is... And he's the least evil. He's a jerk.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
But, you know, especially after Blackadder the Third, where he's just straight up murdering people when they're not paying attention.
He kills so many people. Blackadder the Third kills so many people.
This Blackadder is just a... I mean, he suffers from British imperialism, but he's also weirdly aware of British imperialism. Mm-hmm. Because he's like, oh, we were still doing our empire building when I joined, and he's not saying it like it's a bad thing, but he's definitely talking about how bullshit the British Empire is at the same time. We talked about it in some of our Terry Pratchett stuff. There is a British awareness of that, of being like, man, we didn't do great with that whole British Empire thing, but we did it, and it's so built into a kind of our, like, awareness that we can... It's exactly what we fucking do as Americans when we talk about a lot of our horse shit. Mm-hmm. Like, that it's just white people shit.
Yeah, so Blackadder Goes Forth. Should we list out who everybody's playing and all that stuff?
I think also part of it is this is the biggest cast. I mean, usually there are 4 main cast members. There's 5 this time, and then a few, like, step-on members.
So we once again have Rowan Atkinson as Captain Edmund Blackadder. Mm-hmm. Tony Robinson as Baldrick.
Still just Baldrick.
Private S. Baldrick.
Sod off, Baldrick.
Yeah. Hugh Laurie is Lieutenant George St. Barley.
I think Hugh Laurie as... Because he's James again in this, isn't he? Or...
George.
George, that's it, George. Mm-hmm. I think he plays the role of... The Percy role better than McCurney did. I mean, also, it's just a better character for it. But
yeah. Speaking of Tim McInerney, he is not back as a Percy, but as Captain Kevin Darling.
Although I think there's a reference somewhere that he has an ancestor named Percy. So they're like, he's not Percy, but he's
Percy.
I found him... I mean, okay, I liked Percy in the second season, but his voice did get obnoxious. And this one, it helped to have a Melchett rival, someone who was as intelligent as Blackadder, but,
Well, and speaking of Melchett, we have Stephen Fry back as General Melchett.
Now, General Melchett's a moron. Like, it's always good to have someone higher up than Blackadder who's an idiot, but his weird bleat noise that he is just... I don't know why it's funny, because it's dumb.
Did you hear about his reasoning behind that? Did you read this? According to Stephen Fry, the times where he most often makes that sound, now he makes it other times as well, but most often it's when he's standing up or sitting down. And it's because the character has hemorrhoids.
Oh, God. That almost makes it sad.
Also, apparently, McInerney had a hard time getting rid of the eye tick that he did for Darling.
God, I was going to say let's talk about the Christmas special first. Then we immediately dived into Goes Forth.
Let's go do Goes Forth first,
and then we'll do
so
the
that we
Christmas
can
special.
end on a happy note.
Okay, kind of.
Happier note than ending on Goes
Oh
Forth.
boy. Okay, so I was reading a little bit about this. You talked about this. There was a lot more friction in the background of this season than I think there had been in previous ones. I mean, Tim McInerney had already decided. Tim.
Yep.
Had already decided not to come back for season 3 as
Other
Percy
than
X
that
Percy,
one little episode.
whose character was at least as obnoxious as Percy X Percy. So I don't know why he was so.
At least. Anyway. Although Darling, definitely a step up.
Darling, it brings something really neat. As I said, Blackadder needs a rival that he didn't have in season 3. Having Melchett in season 2 was a good step for him. And I was reading, and I don't know, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on this, a big part of the problem was so many of the actors were professional writers and comedians on their own that they would get the scripts and then they would all sit down together and punch it up, and then the writers would be like, what the fuck did you do? And I haven't read the other scripts, so I can't say, but man, these guys were, in my opinion, even though I said this is Rowan Atkinson's weakest season of the 3 as Blackadder, this is the tightest run season of Blackadder by a large amount. It uses the least amount of silly voice humor, although it still has plenty of that. The gags tend to be much more intelligent, much less like, oh, look, and then Baldric got a turnip stuck on his head.
Look, that turnip is shaped like a thingy.
Love that episode, but...
And it's just... It's a more somber season.
It has to be. Yeah. It's World War One.
And just because of their circumstance, it's like Blackadder's an asshole, but he's not
wrong.
A fucking shitbag like his ancestors.
Yeah, no. He gets, I don't want to say progressively less evil, because again, Blackadder the Third is possibly the most evil. It's between him and season 1, and he actually has a brain, so, like, probably him still. This one is just... He just doesn't want to be in the trenches. No one wants to be in the trenches.
Because he knows what it means.
Yeah.
He's not blinded by the patriotism that Georgie is, or this dumbness of Baldric.
This one was fascinating to me, because Americans don't really talk about World War I that much. I think we talked about this way back when in the Wonder Woman episode.
Because it happened over there.
Yeah. And it
we didn't really do shit.
we joined late. We joined in, what, 1917? Like, literally when this series ends. We were in there for 2 years, and it was traumatic for the boys, but we didn't have any of those, like, one, we didn't come out of it like the great big heroes that we did out at the end of World War II. Whether we deserve that or not is a level of deep debate that's far heavier than general nerdery is built to handle. And we didn't have that traumatic moment of we were bombed or we dropped the atom bomb. Like,
or, yeah.
like the two.
We don't still have, like, ruffles through our countryside from where the trenches were dug.
Yeah.
Or, like, fucking craters from the bombs and shit like that. It was just over there.
It was over there.
We joined late. It was a world war. But then another one happened a few years later, and that's one we had a lot more to do with.
Well, and we
still joined late.
When it comes to storytelling, World War II is a lot easier because it's not just... I mean, World War I is not just men in trenches lobbing shells at each other.
No, but it's hard to even set
mostly men in trenches lobbing shells at each other.
I mean, even trying to set up World War I is you're like, well, dude got assassinated, and it basically just made this whole daisy chain of
Honestly, Blackadder's description in the final episode of what happened is one of the best, most succinct descriptions of the start of World War One that I have ever heard.
I want to see if I can find it real quick.
This actually works. I was reading this. Apparently, historians and politicians have criticized this show for insulting the war and acting like it's the long-running kind of view of the war of lions run by donkeys is the term that I'd never heard before today, but, you know, the idiotic nature of kind of the leaders of the war. And I'm sure it's more complicated than that. But at the same time, it really was stupidity. It was throwing men at other men with tanks and bombs and guns and mustard gas and not ready to deal with, like, the new levels of war. America has this, but we have it for the Civil War, which was, I don't want to say not as bad, because holy fuck, the Civil War was bad, but we didn't have mustard gas in the Civil War.
Yeah, so Edmund brings up, he's like, you see, Baldric, in order to prevent war in Europe, two superblocks developed. Us, the French and the Russians on one side, and the Germans and Austro-Hungary on the other. The idea was to have two vast opposing armies, each acting as the other's deterrent. That way there could never be a war. But this is a sort of war, ain't it? Yes, that's right. You see, there was a tiny flaw in the plan. What was that, sir? It was bollocks.
Honestly, the problem is we keep trying this plan. I mean, we're not as open about, like, we'll use this to prevent war by blah, 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 but, like, it's the same shit the Cold War was. We're so lucky that didn't yet erupt into a hot war. It's the same, you know, it's NATO versus the Russians.
So, yeah, that's what happens when a bloke named Archie Duke shoots an ostrich because he's hungry.
I'm going to miss Baldric, I think, most out of all of these characters as we go. I keep saying go forth without meaning to. I'm not this clever, guys.
Go forth.
As we move onward from these shows, I am honestly, like, as excited as I am to get on to other stuff, I'm kind of sad that we're leaving Blackadder. Like,
Well, I've never seen the Cavalier Years, if you ever want to jump into them.
What the fuck are the Oh,
it was like one of the specials.
Yeah. We'll do that sometime. That'll be great. But, like, it's, you know, I've now seen the majority of Blackadder.
There's the Cavalier Years. We watched The Christmas Carol. We'll get to that. And then Back and Forth, which was the one that they did, like, 15 years later.
I wonder if any of these guys were in the military. Like, because they actually were pretty good at the marching shit at the very beginning.
Right?
I realize that's something you can just practice, but, like, and there might be people who do parade marching being like, they're fucking terrible at this, but...
See, so I guess that marching and the whole opening sequence...
right.
I guess is a reference to an older British show.
Probably,
yeah. That one of the writers, Ben Elton, is a big fan of.
What was that, like Dad's Army or something?
Yep, Dad's Army.
I've not seen Dad's Army, but it is like...
Apparently there's quite a few references to Dad's Army throughout this.
Well, it's one of the British sitcoms to end all British sitcoms. Like, it's... Did you catch the Jeeves and Wooster references that they tossed in a couple of times?
I don't think I did.
Hugh Laurie, who plays Wooster in Jeeves and Wooster, keeps mentioning his Uncle Bertie. Bertie is the first name of Bertie Wooster, his character from Jeeves and Wooster, which takes place maybe a decade before World War I.
Okay.
It's very much placed in Edwardian England.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fun.
And Wooster has an like infinite number of like weird aunts and family members, even if he's not married himself. So it would be entirely possible.
Okay, that's fun.
It's not a big one. I just heard it and went, "Hey."
Should we just dive into the episodes? There's only 6 of them.
Yeah, let's.
We had Captain Cook, which is the painting one.
This is the most sitcom-y of the episodes, which is weird because it's a sitcom, but like.
This is the only episode in all 4 series where the only cast members on screen are the main cast ensemble.
Yeah, you're right, aren't you? They usually have like
Every other episode has at least one extra or
either
cameo.
a guest
or
star or yeah.
This is the only one where it's only the main cast.
I don't know why having one more cast member. I guess two. I mean, okay. So Blackadder, the third, when we were looking at that, they listed Mrs. Miggins as a main cast member, but she fucking wasn't.
Contractually, she might have been, though.
Oh, great. Yeah. And I'm not knocking Mrs. Miggins. She did fine in the role she did. But, like, it was really Blackadder, Baldric, and George.
Yes.
So I think that's why bumping it up to 5 felt bigger to me.
There's the art competition that they think is going to get them sent to France to do a cover for King and Country, but it's actually for a special mission to be sent out into no man's land and draw the enemy positions.
It does make the big push that they do later almost feel a little weird because they just go over the top and are okay. I mean, under the cover of darkness, hiding, almost get murdered like 8 times still. This is almost the Hogan's Heroes episode of Blackadder. Like, because, as I said when I was reading politicians and historians criticizing this, one, for insulting the, like, heads of the army and yada, 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 but also being like, can we have a sitcom during this serious time and have it... And Americans had already done that. Hogan's Heroes is fucking great, by the way.
Yeah.
I really love Hogan's Heroes.
It is great.
But, you know, like, here's this deep mission we have to do. And
guess what's another sitcom about something super fucked up and kind of a downer? MASH.
Yeah. Or Allo Allo, which is lesser known, but still fucking great.
Guess who loves MASH? This guy.
Oh, I've watched a lot of MASH. I've not watched all of it, but...
You're right. This one is kind of the most just like standard sitcom. Somebody's taking credit for somebody else's work. It gets them all fucked up. Mm-hmm. What is interesting, I think, in this one is that Blackadder actually kind of gives George his due. He like acknowledges that he's a good painter.
He immediately uses it for his benefit because he's still Blackadder. But
George is like sitting there. He's like, well, you know, you don't want to sit there and toot your own trumpet. And Blackadder tells him, like, no, you could have told us you had a trumpet.
Yeah, that is a good line. This Blackadder, I think, actually genuinely likes George and Baldric.
Oh, yeah, I would agree.
He does not want to admit it.
No.
Because he's still a Blackadder. And he's obviously so mad that he's at this place where he met them. But he has real affection for both of those people. Mm-hmm. And even in the final episode, he has at least sympathy for Darling.
Yes. Especially because he knows Darling. He's smart enough, and he's always been the realist. He knows exactly.
If anyone's fucked, it's Darling.
Yeah, and if anyone's fucked, it's Darling, and Darling just showed up.
But we will get to that.
Yeah.
Sorry,
it's okay. That last episode,
it takes all the air out of the room.
Large.
Yeah, it
looms so large.
And then after this, they just come up with like, oh, we're supposed to. The big push is going to happen, but they disguise themselves as chefs and serve terrible Baldric cooking.
Which wasn't that like the original plan that they didn't go for?
Yes, because that was terrible, and then because that's the rule. You ignore the Baldric plan that they tell you at the very beginning of the episode, and almost any time there's a Baldric plan. Again, other than season 1, where Baldric actually has a brain.
Where Baldric is
very smart,
very competent.
And then, when everything else has failed, you go with the Baldric plan, and it's got about a 50% success rate. It doesn't long-term solve your problem, but it gets you out of whatever stupidity that you are in at the time.
It gets you on to the next problem.
Yep. I have a cunning plan.
You're guaranteed to have a next problem.
Yes, that's really the that's the Baldric way.
But it gets you there. Corporal punishment, I think, is number 2, which is going to be the Flanders pigeon murder.
Okay, I said the last one's the most sitcom, and it is. But this is a weirdly stupid episode for sitcom hijinks.
Blackadder's doing everything he can to avoid getting the news to go over the top. Kills a carrier pigeon.
Before that, he goes through there's communication issues happening.
Right,
so
right.
he keeps getting like Chinese takeout order calls, which almost like it pulled me out for a second, and then I remembered I'm watching Blackadder and I don't actually need to worry about like real world immersion too much.
Mm-hmm. Cat pen Blackadder.
Yeah, that's right. And then he finds various reasons not to go, and then he shoots the pigeon because the pigeon arrives.
The pigeon is carrying
Words
word
to go over the top.
Well, and word that shooting pigeons is a treason now?
Yes, which was a real thing.
Right.
This was one because soldiers so desperately didn't want to go over the top. And now, I'm sure that you all know this if you listen to General Nerdy, but I just realized we didn't cover this and always assume people don't know things. If you don't know World War I, it was a trench on one side, a trench on the other side, and no man's land in between. And there's barbed wire and holes and mines and guns shooting over the top and mustard gas, and they would just send people charging from one to try to take out the next trench. And the death rate was appalling. And not just like, oh, we didn't have, modern medicine levels of appalling, although it was that too.
Yeah.
But it was just...
we don't have modern tactics appalling.
We were just throwing men, and literally the difference of, the joke is like, we'll kill thousands of men to bring the general's drink cabinet 6 feet.
6 inches.
6 inches? That's not as much of a joke as you want it to be.
Which episode is it where Captain Darling has the 1-to-1 model of the amount of land they took?
I don't remember, but it's straight up like...
17 square feet, sir.
And especially British aristocracy, get really mad because they get a lot of shit. Because it tended to be, I don't know if it's still true, but it tended to be the aristocracy got the leadership positions.
Mm-hmm.
In America, it's the rich people that just go to West Point usually. But so they really don't like it when we're like, you fucking morons. But it's what it was. It was just throwing each other back and forth. So when we say they're doing everything they can to not go over the top, including shoot the pigeon so we don't have to worry about the orders.
We never got our orders.
Also, so I can eat a fucking pigeon because those trenches were the most disgusting shit you can think of. This is taking place on the fields of France. It rains there a lot. And you're in a fucking mud pit for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
It was disease and bad food and...
Especially if Baldric's making it.
Oh, yes.
Don't have the coffee.
Oh, God, that is the grossest fucking... The coffee is mud.
The sugar is dandruff.
The sugar is dandruff, which is the part that made me physically gag when he first said it. And the milk is spit. And when he's is making the milk and he's just hawking, oh my God, I'm getting a little grossed out just thinking about it. But anyways, he kills the pigeon, eats the pigeon, because probably not uncommon. And then he finds out that it was not just it's illegal to kill this pigeon. It was General Melchit's favorite pigeon. His only
Jim.
Jim, that's what I kept wanting to say, Jack. His only friend growing up.
I believe it.
Yeah. I'm so used to thinking of Stephen Fry as this super erudite, intelligent fellow, Jeeves, or even his role in fucking V for Vendetta. He plays a very intelligent man. Or, the guy that's been writing all these Greek books that adaptations of Greek legends that I've been reading with Troy and Heroes and whatever. Watching him play a moron is a little disconcerting.
Mm.
He's very good at it, though. I'm sorry. It's just... My goats make that noise.
So it's hard to tell, honest. I've never caught it until I was told to look for it. But when Blackadder calls for the lawyer, Massingbird.
Mm-hmm. Is that a real lawyer? They tend to do real.
Well, so here's the thing. Massingbird was the name of an obituary writer for the Daily Telegraph at the time. Massingbird, every time he says it, it's ADR. It's dubbed over. Because the name they used was Robert Brown, who was a prominent commercial barrister in London at the time, and they didn't want to have to deal with possible legal proceedings from him.
Oh shit, he's still alive. We've gotten too close.
But I never noticed that until it was pointed out to me and I knew to look for it.
I'll watch next time I watch this, which will probably be relatively recent. This is an extremely good show. Mm-hmm. I'm going to watch out for that one.
I laughed pretty hard when they described how good Massingbird is, though. All of the different court cases that he had won.
The fucking Oscar Wilde being like...
Convincing a jury that Oscar Wilde was homosexual despite it being an incredibly notorious womanizer.
Which, man... Oscar Wilde is possibly the most prominent gay man in history. Maybe less so these days, but like, you know, just because you no longer go to prison for being gay in large parts of the world, at least.
Right.
But Oscar Wilde was an openly gay man in Victorian and Edwardian London. Like, that's not shit that you do.
I can't. The other one was something about like the dude being found next to the body.
I'd do it again.
Yeah.
I would. And then instead, he got George.
Yeah, oof. Which also, I cracked up so hard when George was fined $50 for wasting the court's time by showing up.
Military trials are always kind of one-sided from what I see. It's really hard when your judge is the superior officer. Like, that's just... Honestly, it just shouldn't be done.
Mm-hmm. What got them out of it at the end? I'm fucking blanking on it now.
George's uncle. Because Blackadder gets convicted for killing the pigeon. Partially because he did.
Yeah, he did do that.
He meets the firing squad.
Who are all really nice guys.
You have not read Going Postal, which is probably my favorite Discworld book.
Right.
But I don't know which... Going Postal was written later. I can't confirm this, but I bet you Terry Pratchett watched this and went,
oh, I can use that.
Because the executioners have a very similar, like, it's good to see you. You've been such a good, like, oh man, like, I'm going to make you a bacon sandwich because it's you, like, because I appreciate you. Very good the way that gag was. And then it turns out that George's uncle is, I don't remember who the guy is, but he's a super powerful man in the military. And George was supposed to call him and get him to let Blackadder off. But instead, in celebration of the fact that they realized they had a way to save the captain, George and Baldric got shit-faced and forgot to call him. But luckily, George's uncle just happened to hear about it and was like, oh, George has mentioned Blackadder before. That's a really stupid reason to kill someone. And sends him the message of like, why didn't you just call me? Like, I let him off, but you should have just... Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
It's a great episode.
Yeah, it's a great episode.
Every episode is a good episode.
Every episode's a good episode. I just, for some reason, everything earlier in the episode always stands out to me more than the end.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
Major star. It's the return of Bob.
One, I like Bob better in this one.
And Baldric's Charlie Chaplin routine. With the slug.
You know, I keep watching this episode through the lens of being super aware that Stephen Fry is gay, but that he wasn't out in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And again, I don't think it was a big secret.
Right.
Especially and I don't just, like, I'm sure everyone who knew him knew he was gay. But, I mean, I don't think it was a big secret in the public eye, because I vaguely remember when he came out, or at least when I learned that he came out. because I don't think he officially came out until the, like, 21st century. Mm-hmm. And being like, yeah? Yeah?
Didn't we know this? Did we not know this?
But I keep watching it through that lens, and it's just, we don't see a whole lot of British drag, or just drag in, like, comedies anymore. But this could have so terribly handled this. And I can't say they handled it great, especially as a straight white man. Like, there's certain things that I'm like, I think they did fine. And someone who actually has to deal with prejudice is like, oh, honey, no, they did not do fine. Mm-hmm. But, like, there's plenty of Britcom things I've watched with men in dresses where I'm like, oh, that did not stick the landing. And I remember this one going decently well. I mean, a lot of it just lies on Melchit's a fucking moron. And we don't see the date, so that could have changed it up. I'm not explaining this episode at all. I'm saying a thing that might not make any sense to people.
She's got more spunk than your average gal.
Jesus Christ, the dirty jokes that they have Stephen Fry.
Oh my God.
Drop in this one.
It's so good just for all the innuendos.
Especially with the amount of, already the joke of how repeatedly he keeps calling darling. And the way that they land it, they keep making it sound like the old wife. Okay, so I'm not seeing... Oh, here it is. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look up when he came out, when Stephen Fry came out. He got married in 2015. He was Rowan Atkinson's best man, and he openly calls Hugh Laurie his best friend. Oh, that makes me so happy.
I love all that.
Fry struggled to keep his homosexuality secret during his teenage years at public school, and by his own account did not engage in sexual activity for 16 years until the mid-90s. When asked when he first acknowledged his sexuality, Fry quipped, "I suppose it all began when I came out of the womb. I looked back up at my mother and thought to myself, that's the last time I'm going up one of those." Fry was in a 15-year... God damn it. Fry was in a 15-year relationship with Daniel Cohen, which ended in 2010. Fry was listed number 2 in 2016, blah, blah, blah. On the 6th of January 2015, British tabloid The Sun reported that Fry would marry his partner, comedian Elliot Spencer. Fry wrote on Twitter, "It looks as though the cat is out of the certain bag. I'm very happy, of course, but had hoped for a private wedding. Fat chance." 11 days after the news story, Fry married Spencer. So it doesn't have a, like... I don't think he ever had an official, "I'm gay."
But like I said, there was a point up until the mid-90s where he had 16 years where...
Oh, that sucks, man.
He just...
Oh, that's tough.
Was wrestling with his sexuality and didn't have any sexual contact.
I mean, all of the... Like, one, just... Mm-hmm. People should be allowed to love who they love, but just... No sexual contact for 16 years. Post-teenager stuff when it's, like, normal. If you're a person who wants sex. Obviously, asexual, whatever, have at it. If you want sex and you don't have sex for 16 years, that's the worst.
That's a rough time.
That's a bad time, my guy.
We're sorry you went through that, Stephen.
Oh, my God. But yeah, okay, so I what I'm remembering is when he got... And some people were like, he's gay. And you're like, yeah, man.
Yeah. Yes, he is. This one, honestly, other than it's the return of Bob, doesn't really stick with me as much.
It might be the weakest one.
And like I said, all the double entendres are fucking great.
The double entendres, some jokes.
But we're not going to sit here and repeat all of them.
No, it's not funny that way. They throw a fucking talent show. Not Darling. Melchett, who's a fucking idiot, forgets or doesn't realize that Georgina is George in a dress and falls in love. And desperate because they just killed off Georgina to keep him from having to marry Melchett, they dress Bob up. And Bob is a woman. And he immediately is like, because Melchett cannot figure out that Bob is a woman. Mm-hmm. It's like, how dare you dress Bob up in a dress? Yeah, it was funny. I like Bob, and she was less... I don't want to say shrieky, because she wasn't shrieky in the first one, but everyone's acting was so over the top in Blackadder the second.
It was a lot more naturalistic.
Yeah, Blackadder season, whatever fucking season 2 called itself. I'm saying fuck a lot. I apologize.
I think it was the second.
Because it's Blackadder. I guess Blackadder second, Blackadder the third, and then Blackadder Goes Forth. Mm-hmm. Next up is what? The pilots.
Yeah, next up is Private Plane, which is the Wing Commander, the Lord Flashheart.
Maybe my favorite episode of this when it comes just to, like, as a comedy episode, as the jokes, bringing in existing, like, I don't know if this episode would have worked as well if I haven't watched all of Blackadder, if you just sat someone down and only watched Goes Forth.
Yeah, like this was your first
exposure
to Flashheart.
But I like him so much better than I liked him in the second.
I like him overall better in this one, but I don't think he has as memorable of lines as...
Woof! No, because this has my favorite stupid exchange.
Okay.
And it's right at the very end where he's like, I'm a man who takes what I want. And then Bob,
yeah.
Bob, yes, sir, there's something I want. Take me. I think I butchered the line too, but just that Bob's absolute obsession with Lord Flashheart, I'm super into.
This is the one with the 17 square foot of land.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
the one-to-one representation of the land that we've taken.
Baron von Richthofen?
Is that the
That's
actual Red Baron?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Obviously not getting killed in the same way.
Nope. So Red Baron, actually, airplanes in World War I is legitimately one of the most fascinating things about the war, because they didn't do a lot. The technology was not there, but there is something legitimately romantic about biplanes. They are the most rickety, terrifying shit that I can imagine. And they just put machine guns on the front. I've never figured out how they don't just take out the propellers.
It's, so the firing rate of the machine gun is tied to the rotation of the propeller.
I understand that in theory. I have to imagine something fucking jams for a second and suddenly you're blasting out your propeller.
Oh, yeah.
Like
it had to have happened, especially in those rickety fuckers.
And then they're like, oh, well, okay, when they're not just shooting each other, because, man, their war, the dog pilot war, was almost more pointless than the fucking trench warfare. Mm-hmm. They weren't even taking land. They were just going up in the air. Like, oh, well, you can drop bombs. But they literally just kept a bunch of bombs, like, next to their seat in their fucking laps. I don't know. And they had to just lean over the side and hand drop the bombs. This isn't fucking B-52 Flying Fortress opens up and a million fucking tiny bombs drops, whatever. You know, this isn't... This is a dude dropping a grenade from a biplane.
It's like, yeet.
It is the most rickety shit that I could possibly imagine. But man, I can see how people get caught up in the romance of this shit. Blackadder is not wrong when making fun of the dogfighters. I probably would be listening to everything Flash said the way George was, as stupid as Flash is.
Oh my god. What's the 20-minuters?
I don't think it's, isn't it? Oh, and it might be 20 minutes, yeah, because it includes, like, flying and takeoff, and they think that, oh, well, it's just 20 minutes involved, and then we're both basically done. That sounds so much better. But no, the 20-minute club is the fact that the average lifespan
of a new pilot is 20 minutes.
And if you survive a couple, then you're doing great. But, like, one, you weren't flying that long in the first place, and two, it did not take much to down a biplane.
So with the Germans having the Baron von Richthofen, I know
I still don't know why triplane was like... Was that just being edgy? Or, like, I don't know what the difference is.
I know that we eventually, once we entered the war, we had Rickenbacker, who never put up nearly the same numbers as Richthofen. But they were both referred to as being flying aces. There weren't really flying combat before this war, so I have to imagine that this is where they decided that, like...
What counts as an... Is it five?
It's 5 kills.
Okay. I know that from Star Wars X-Wing books, and I'm not sure how to feel about that. A thing that I love, do you know why the public still knows the Red Baron beyond just pizza?
Fucking Snoopy.
Yeah. We would not... I was reading an article about how straight up biplane warfare would not have stuck in the public perception the way that it has if we didn't have Snoopy sitting on the top of his doghouse, flying his biplane, fighting the Red Baron, and getting shot down every single time.
I'm more impressed with myself that I remembered Rickenbacker. But
Yeah, I don't pretend to know Rickenbacker. This one almost felt more like, maybe it's just because of the introduction of Flash, but like there was something very second season Blackadder about this one. Or even third season, like Blackadder gets kidnapped and annoying mainland European that they're making fun of shows up. In this case, the Red Baron. In the previous season, it was Rimmer as
the
French Revolutionary.
And before that, it was
Hugh Laurie.
Yeah.
as
a German.
As a German. They really... God, the British love making fun of the Germans.
Before the Germans arrive.
The best joke of making fun of any people who aren't Brits in this is punching the German soldiers in the dick in the second season.
Eins, zwei.
Ooh.
Then we go to... So, 5 is General Hospital, which is probably my favorite beyond Goodbye.
This is a great really, I mean, the first 3 episodes are good. The last 3 episodes are consistently great.
Yes.
Queenie comes back in this one.
She's great.
What's the actress's name?
Miranda Richardson.
Miranda Richardson is the queen of terrible voices. She does it the least in this one, which might be why she's my favorite. This is my favorite version of her.
They receive word that there's a German spy in one of their field hospitals.
And it's the field hospital that George is injured in currently.
And Blackadder has to go smoke out the spy. And
so he bangs a nurse for 3 weeks straight.
Fair.
Yeah. Miranda Richardson is a beautiful woman.
Yeah. Fair. Good on you, Blackadder.
This isn't the first time we ever see Blackadder get laid, because he gets laid in the fucking first episode of season 2.
Right. It's not often that it happens, though.
No, and this is, in some way, the ones that's, like, the most into it.
Mm-hmm.
Bob is so weird about it, and she ditches him the moment she meets Lord Flashheart.
Woof.
Woof! Oh my god, it's so annoying, but, like, good. At first, she's a very Miranda Richardson role of, oh, my boys. Oh, I've got this I can't even pretend to do her high-pitched, annoying voice. Like, I just am not built for it. Her worst role is in the fucking Christmas Carol. It's not a bad role, but, like, the most annoying voice she ever does is in the fucking Christmas Carol. Jesus Christ. We'll get there. And then it turns out, and this is a relatively common thing, she's got her bedside manner, and then she's got her much more down-to-earth...
Yeah, when she's away from bedsides.
Yeah.
I just love the way this entire episode plays out with, like, Blackadder is mostly enjoying his time away from the front, but he's still kind of trying to get the job done, especially because, like, there's an obvious German dude there.
And if he gets the job, I mean, it's 2 things. 1, he's been in the military a long time. Like, there's just a thing of you do your job. And then 2, if he gets his job done, he gets out of the trenches. And if there's one thing Blackadder wants in life, it's to not be in the fucking trenches. But, I mean, it really was a thing, because he immediately starts banging the nurse. And it's her whole thing. And it's like, oh, maybe we can meet up. And she's like, or we could just do it on the table right now. From what I understand, and I don't know how much of this is romanticism, but especially in the 2 world wars, because those went for years and was a very different kind of war than we have anymore. That was kind of just a thing. It might still be a thing. I don't know. But just like, I don't have time for romancing.
But do you want to bang?
I just want to, Yes! I just want to bang. That's what... I have no idea why she's into Blackadder, because fuck, he's awful. This might be his most terrible.
Yeah.
The way that he interrogates Darling is funny, but also fucked up. There's a very obvious German man and spy who keeps screaming out German-like phrases. You keep seeing him wandering into places.
And it turns out he is a German spy.
He's just a spy on the Germans.
Mm-hmm.
Best stupid joke in this episode is when George asks him, like, have you seen anyone who might be a spy? And he goes, 9! 9, really?
Yeah.
I saw it coming immediately. I still laughed. Fucking Hugh Laurie is so good at playing an idiot. I would love to see him play a sitcom idiot again. He's really good at playing sassy, intelligent. He seems to be doing it again on, I can't remember the show he's on now, but the sci-fi show he's on. But, like, it'd be really fun to see him play kind of some of the older type that he used to do.
Blackadder testing her by... She didn't recognize that I only named 2 of the 2 great universities. Oxford's a dump. Rowan Atkinson went to Oxford.
Well, and
Fry and Laurie went to Cambridge.
Yep, and also that's a very high-class school thing to do. Mm-hmm. The rivalry between those schools is weird. I'm just going to go with weird. I know Harvard's got its own rivalry thing too, but I also think that's weird. I mean, I live in fucking Missoula. We have a rivalry with Bozeman, but we're both aware that we're mid-tier schools at best, so...
And then it turns out that George is...
the spy, on accident.
Because he just won't fucking shut up and keeps not censoring things to his German uncle that he's writing letters to.
Which, I have to imagine, is not how things would roll. Like, even in World War I, they had to be fucking... I mean, I know by World War II, at least, they were very good at, like, every piece of mail you sent gets looked at and redacted and yada, yada, yada. But it's a good gag. Mm-hmm. It is the classic Blackadder move that I always love, but I'm always like, oh, you fucking doink. Someone actually likes Blackadder. Something actually good is going to happen to Blackadder. But because he's too smart for his own fucking good, which makes him an idiot, bad things happen. He could have gotten married to the cute nurse. But He was too busy thinking he was smarter than anyone else. Now, she was obviously set up as... because I vaguely remembered this episode, and it was very obvious that it wasn't actually going to be the German guy.
Right.
Part of me was like, is it the double bluff? Is it actually the German guy? And then it's not, George. Obviously. But yeah, I had forgot that George was actually the spy. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, maybe it is her? Like, obviously it's being set up. Like, it's being set up too well for it to actually be her in a Blackadder episode. But come on, man. Like, just fucking... anywhere George is, assume he's doing something that's making things worse.
Mm-hmm. Last episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
It starts off like any other episode. Here's a goofy thing. Let's do it. It's time to... we're going to go over the edge tomorrow. Or we're going to go over the... whatever tomorrow. Over the top. Jesus Christ. We're going to go over the top tomorrow. It's time to pretend I'm insane.
Well, they were about to get... they were already basically ordered over the top in a different episode, so why would this one be any different? And then...
the whole point of this is we're supposed to go over the top and we keep dodging out. This time I'm going to do it by being insane. And it automatic, setup for it of that if you don't go into this knowing it's bad... no, it's bad. It's fucking amazing. It's one of the best episodes of television I've watched in a long time. It looks like it's just doing a catch-22. I'm pretending to be insane so I can get out of the army.
Doesn't work. Long story short, they get sent over the top.
Watching him say wibble is funny.
Wibble.
Wibble. Especially because I know he has such trouble with bees.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking...
Wibble.
Wibble.
Oh my god. For some reason, every time I watch this episode, when George is listing off what happened to all of his friends that have botted in the war, and he's going by all their nicknames from their Tiddlywinks club, for some reason, I always lose it at the fact that one of his buddies was just named Strangely Brown, which is probably racist, but...
But also, it is, what's brilliant about that bit, because he's, so-and-so bobbed it, and blah, 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 and Strangely Brown went over the edge, and like, what does that mean? I have no idea, but they all died. One, it's just good George is an idiot, but two, that slang is a lot closer to Edwardian English, pre-World War I England aristocracy than we want to give it credit for.
Mm-hmm.
The, like, rich and useless were such a thing in Edwardian England. And they had their own language in ways that are almost indecipherable today.
I already brought up the bloke named Archie Duke shot an ostrich because he was hungry.
Which is trying to explain the Archduke Ferdinand.
Man, I don't know. It's weird because it's funny. It's funny all the way through. There's jokes up until the end. But at a certain point, all the characters kind of accept what's about to happen. And that's fucked up.
It's poignant. We talked about this because both of us have talked about this before, of this episode making us cry. This episode made me cry harder when I was a little kid than most things I can remember. And I was a crier. I'm still a crier. I'm getting a little misty-eyed talking about it now because Jesus Christ. What amazes me is I was such a, like, no, they didn't die. They did not show me a body. They didn't die.
They did.
And I'm amazed. They did such a good job that even me, no, people don't die in sad ways, young 8-year-old dipshit, was like, oh, they did.
I think the part that it always starts to sink in for me, is when George admits he's scared. And he's been doing all this rambling all episode, and it all leads to that.
For me, it's a step earlier, but that's where it hits. That's where you go, fuck, this is not funny anymore. This is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's earlier when Darling gets sent that you go, fuck. Like, this is... okay, this is serious.
And everything about the way that Darling scene is framed, too, is very final. Mm-hmm. It's like he's walking into the afterlife.
And he's, when Darling goes from... because Darling is such a snake through this entire series. And honestly, Tim McInerney was very good at playing an idiot. But he's so good at playing a snake. Mm-hmm. Such a, man, I can't think of anyone else who could have played the role of Darling as well as he did. And because at first, General Milch is like, I think of you like a son. Not a son that I want or like very much, but like a son.
And then
and it's kind of a reverse. It's kind of like a reverse Radar and I guess Colonel Potter, but even more Major from MASH.
Oh.
I can't think of the Major's name who was... not Major, Colonel Blake.
There you go.
The original leader of MASH before he left at the end of season 3. Or original leader of 4077. Because, in both cases there was a kind of like, oh, my attaché is weirdly close to me. Although with Blake and Radar, it's very much an actual, he's my son, damn it. This one, they rotated back and forth between, old married couple and here's my useless child. But the shift as he's going increasingly trying to be like, I don't want to die. Do not send me over. And it just being like, you don't want to go fucking. Melchett is at his most. There are a few people in Blackadder that I have hated more than Melchett in that scene.
Right. Yeah.
Damn, Stephen Fry. And he's wearing that stupid sleep mustache net the whole time. Did Stephen Fry grow that? I don't think it's a real mustache. It doesn't look very real, but like,
I have no idea.
if anyone would, it would be Stephen Fry.
Oh, fuck. It stands out to me so much when it just makes sense earlier in the episode that the rational explanation for Blackadder acting off is he's just excited to go over.
Mm-hmm. Just, yeah. Well, because we're the Brits. Show ho, show. We were laughing because they said the words "by jingo," and man,
Yeah, Field Marshal Haig.
the phrase "by jingo" sure has changed since we read Jingo.
Mm-hmm.
But it to borrow from that, we'll show Johnny Clatchy and what's what is just such a British. Like it's how Americans do it too, but like we got it from them.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a British way of like thinking how World War I was gonna go. And then how thinking World War II was going to go for a minute there, although they were a little less by jingo by that point. Because they're like, oh God, we're doing another one of these?
It's garnered controversy from whatever for telling it basically how it was. And there's this...
And I'm sure it does massively simplify. I'm sure there are historians who were like, no, it's way more complicated. But
there's the parts where George is asking Blackadder. He's like, dude, you're a professional soldier. Like, this has been your career, but you don't seem like you enjoy it. And Blackadder's like, yeah, because what we were doing wasn't war. It was fucking invading tribes that had no chance of
massive
fighting back.
imperialism. Like we talk about, there's that fucking movie about the against the Zulus.
Yeah.
One.
Oh, I love Zulu. It's a great movie.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
But also, when you watch it from a much better eye, you're like, those British soldiers who are hiding in a circle and trying to survive are not the good guys in this movie. They're portrayed as the good guys, but...
Even before I realized that they weren't the good guys, I always thought Shaka was the coolest part of that movie.
He's Shaka Zulu. But... Man, I haven't watched that movie in a long time. I don't think I've seen that since high school.
Young Michael Caine, right?
I think so, yes. Young Michael Caine unnerves me. Not in that movie specifically, but when I think of Michael Caine, I think of Muppet Christmas Carol or Alfred. He's like Morgan Freeman. I just am not sure what to do when he's under 65.
Yeah. But just those bits where... It's weird because it's kind of Blackadder admitting to the giant asshole that he is with no guilt about it. But it's also very much just like...
In fairness, Brits wouldn't have felt that back at the time.
Exactly. And I think that's part of the point of the scene is he's like, this is what we were doing. This is why we think we're so great.
And now we're going up against people who are on our level and we don't know what to fucking do with it.
Except die.
Oh, God. Oh.
So did you read anything about that final scene? Basically, like it wasn't supposed to go that way?
It was really hard to film it because they go over the top and they charge and they die. But they only had 15 feet to run.
Not only did they only not have 15 feet to run.
That's like the size of your living room.
It was supposed to be, they go over the top, they get bombed, they fall over, and they look dead. There's like actual like prop
Footage
explosions going on next to them. They didn't like it. Rowan Atkinson refused to do another take with the explosions.
Oh, really?
So they did one take with the explosions, and apparently them laying there looking dead didn't look very realistic, looked pretty fucking dumb. So they did...
It's kind of like at the end of season 2 where they just showing them all dead. You're like, all right, whatever.
So then apparently they did another take, maybe a couple takes, of them going over the top and getting machine gunned and falling down so they didn't have to deal with the explosions. And those also looked dumb, because it looked like a bunch of guys and just falling over.
It's just great fun to do, but...
And I think at least one of those versions was them, like, going to, like, a freeze of like a pained expression on their face as they're getting shot.
Why didn't he like just because explosions are scary? Or?
Apparently it was just like those explosions were going off like a foot and a half from...
Nope, don't like that. Do not blame Rowan Atkinson on that one.
So they had like 4 takes of a bunch of things that looked kind of shitty in the editing room. And the editor was like, how do we make this work? We need to stretch like 15 seconds. That's all we need is like 15 seconds of footage to end this out. And they're like, well, if we slow it down, then them going over the top takes like 10 seconds. And then we just fade it out before it starts looking shitty.
It really is like 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. It's them going over the top, and then it fades out to just
A field
nothing.
of poppies.
No, before that, it goes to
nothing. And
just the same scene, just the camera, but without them there. And then it changes to a field of poppies. And as an adult, I wouldn't have gotten the field of poppies thing as a kid. Poppies is such a thing for World War I remembrance. For, this is for the dead of World War I. There is no way to have that, like, did they die? And again, I argued that Spike Spiegel lived through the end of Cowboy Bebop. You watch him drop to the floor. I believed everyone lived happily ever after in everything. And I was like, they did.
Ooh, they did. Ooh, they did.
Every actor, it's the best scene that they did, that final bit.
It's
other than Stephen Fry, but he didn't have to. He was just doing his thing. I would have liked maybe 5 to 10 seconds of like black after the Field of Poppies or longer Field of Poppies. I recognize they were working with the time they had on the, TV, not on streaming. But as you and I both discussed, Hulu immediately translates it to Mr. Bean once you finish. And it gives you about 4 seconds in between. And it is jarring as all weird, because it's like shift over and I just looked up to see it was Mr. Bean. And I went, huh. Like, it makes sense, but huh. And Cece'd never seen Mr. Bean before. And then suddenly just wham!
Oh my God.
Mr. Bean drops on it and like, Mr. Bean's funny.
Yeah.
I was a little annoyed with it just because I found it so jarring. Cece laughed quite a bit at Mr. Bean.
Look, given that it is considered to be one of the greatest sitcom episodes, not just finales, of all time.
Definitely, I think I'd put it on my top 5 finales, if nothing else. I think of just shows.
Yeah.
Not just sitcoms, but just finales.
I know she's not here to tell us herself, but what did Cece think?
She didn't comment on it as heavily as other things that we've watched. She definitely enjoyed watching it. Her favorite bits were anytime Fry and Lori were in the same scene. She adores those two because they're great. They're the best together. I mean, she's a huge Jeeves and Wooster fan with me, so watching this was wonderful. When we were watching the first season, I definitely had these like, I promise it gets better. I'm sorry I'm making you watch this. She laughed, especially in this last season. I heard her, because a lot of times she'd be making dinner on the days that I was watching this. We'd split it about half and half. Anytime I talk about my wife in the kitchen making dinner while I'm watching something, part of me's like, promise that you're not just that guy. Promise that you share some of the chores. But the way that our house is set up, even if you can't always see the TV, you can hear what's going on. There's not like any doors in between. It's all kind of one room.
I get
or
that.
At least close enough to one room.
You know what my apartment
not as
looks
much
like.
as yours is, where your kitchen is a reading nook that they stuck a fridge in, but
in the corner of the living room.
yeah, exactly. I've lived in plenty of apartments like that, but it's all close enough that you can just talk to each other and still. And I would definitely hear her laughing in the kitchen from lines going. Usually Hugh Laurie lines or Stephen Fry lines, but
All right, let's make this happy. Christmas Carol.
not as good as any of it, but still very good.
Christmas Carol might legitimately be some of my favorite Blackadder.
Really?
It has some across the board. It has some of my favorite bits. I've quoted it like 2 episodes ago, but the Baldric, you wouldn't recognize a cunning plan if it painted itself purple and dancing naked on a harpsichord, shouting, "Cunning plans are here again." I love the fucking everything with Third and George.
It surprised me how happy it made me to see, how happy it made me to see old Blackadders. We never see the first one, do we?
No.
They show him. The reason I get confused is they show him on the like Hulu next episode.
Right.
They show Blackadder the first.
But he's not in it.
But he's not in it. They just don't want to talk about the first one.
They go 2, 3, and then future. Mm-hmm. To go along with, of course, Ebenezer Blackadder.
Because this is it's reverse Christmas Carol.
Right,
He's the nicest man in London town.
The most generous man in England.
Again, they find ways to make fun of the Germans with Prince Albert.
Which is really good. Was that the Infanta? Or was Queen Vic... I suppose I could look this up because I have all of it like right next to me. The Spanish princess?
She might be, because his obnoxious goddaughter is Queenie.
No, the obnoxious goddaughter is Perry.
From Doctor Who? Holy shit! I had that one 100% wrong. Good God, she's good at that high-pitched voice. Oh, God.
Well, that's not what I was expecting to realize. Queen Vic... That can't be fucking right, is it? Queen Vic was the matchmaker in Mulan, which is the one that was kind of blowing my mind. Professor Sprout and Harry Potter.
That makes fucking 3 Harry Potter alums in this episode.
Right, because Robbie Coltrane is huge front and center.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know, Harry Potter problematic, but these actors were in this movie. We can't get around it. Prince Albert is Slughorn.
Oh.
This is the other potions master. Just way younger. Damn. I'm so stupid.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, she was the Infanta, Maria Escalosa of Spain.
They love bringing people back. As I said, I was surprised how much I missed older Blackadders, even though I had just watched them. We talked about it. Holy shit, the Blackadder the Second's look and costume is far and away the hottest that Rowan Atkinson has ever been in his life.
He needs to rock the facial hair
all
the
more
time.
And not the, like, super tight, almost Mr. Bean cut that he feels the need to wear all the time. Like, let him have his hair out a little bit.
Looks so good. And that doublet's pretty fire.
Right? With the fucking adder wrapped around the dagger kind of thing on the side. Like,
I like that future Warlord Blackadder has that like front and center on his chest plate.
With Blackadder Second, I was taking notes for my foam Wappy Bats bullshit. That's how good it is. I would not mind wearing that shirt.
3's overcoat's also really good.
It is very nice. Regency England looks so uncomfortable to wear, though. Like,
yeah.
I've got to wear hose with Blackadder the Second, but man, like, the amount of layers and shit. I'm not a lot of layers guy, unless it's, like, a shirt, a hoodie, a vest. But, like, oh, this button-up thing, and then this vest, and then this button-up thing, and then these shoes that are weirdly high, and...
this episode, see, ever since the first time I've seen it, I've referred to man thongs as posing pouches. Like the triple husbandoid. Just that.
And one of them is fucking Nursey.
Just saying that is hilarious for some reason. I don't know why.
Who were the 3? It was Nursey and it was Melchett, and who was it
George?
George, yeah. Yep, okay. And she's just straight up playing Queen Elizabeth again, but as herself.
As Space Queen.
Yeah, but we get flashbacks of previous Blackadders as instead of like, here's your past, let me like scare you into being a good person. It's, man, your ancestors are assholes. Let's show you. And we get a pretty basic Blackadder the Second story. He spends all his money on buying a present for the Queen, and then
the
she
Queen
doesn't want the
presents. Then she wants presents.
And he like goes to destroy it, and I want to be like, Blackadder, this is why you're never getting ahead. Don't destroy the present. You know she's going to change her mind in 4 seconds.
Happens, but then...
Melchett almost dies.
I know, I was about to say, he sets Melchett up to get executed, and that segment ends like that's what happened, even though we know that that's not what happened.
But again, especially that version of Queen Elizabeth was so... all over the map. I still can't stop mixing her with the version of Queen Elizabeth from Doctor Who that marries the Doctor.
So funny.
Like, just what she's doing in between.
It's amazing. Oh my God. Like, having the Doctor run into a Blackadder.
Oh my God, that would be fun. And then, I mean, we kind of got that. Is Rowan Atkinson's Doctor in Curse of Fatal Death is very Blackadder-ish.
That's fucking funny.
I love Curse of Fatal Death. It's so funny.
We got some of 3.
And the third was, what was the fucking gag on that one?
They told Prince George the charitable Christmas story that puffed him up a bunch. Mm-hmm. And the idea was after that, he would be primed to be charitable to the next old woman.
And they would disguise Baldric as an old woman to come in and get all the stuff.
But then a real old woman who was looking for charity was let in by Baldric, and she's the one that got all the stuff. And it ends with Blackadder straight up being like, I'm going to go murder her and take the shit.
Right? Like, again, he's very murderous. Here's what I've never got about the third Blackadder.
The whole thing was a bit Scylla.
As much as we've talked about him, he's the most evil, and he's the most intelligent. Yet somehow, he never figures out that Baldric cannot be relied on to follow the plan to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
His fatal flaw, every single time, is he cannot find a better goon than Baldric. You need to find a good goon, and you need to take care of your goon. And he does neither of those things.
And then we get that future one.
We find out that if he stays being a good person... No, we find out if he becomes a bastard, eventually his...
great grandson, whatever,
will become a evil space general. And God, were they
supreme ruler of the universe?
Were they just straight up stealing from 80s Doctor Who sets? Like, were those just in the... Because, man, it looked like an episode of Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
More than any other sci-fi, that's what it felt like it was riffing on. Which, it's 80s... I mean, this came out in, I want to say, 88. So, year I was born. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Doctor Who was canceled the year before. Like, it was in the public consciousness.
And then the opposite side of that is if he stays good, because he's currently the most generous man in England, he ends up becoming the Baldric to Baldric. Who
ends up being the ruler of the known universe, but also a moron.
But also, like, isn't the universe about to explode or something?
I think so, yeah. So he decides to become a douchebag, and then it turns out...
That screws him from getting
immense fortune and barony, because he's... Queen Victoria and Prince Albert have been wandering around, finding the kindest man in Britain, in London, so they can give him an enormous fortune and a barony.
And another secret present that I was going to give him right after I show him this Damn.
I am fascinated by Victorian London, so there is interest in that. But honestly, the least interesting part of Victorian London to me is the Queen and Prince Albert.
Mm-hmm.
She was kind of a lunatic, and he was interesting, but he died pretty fast, and whatever, aristocracy.
I don't know. I love it. It's one of my favorite Christmas specials. I watch it every year. I watch it multiple times a year.
Very good, don't get me wrong. It's just hard when we just talked about one of the best sitcom episodes ever made. And again, I am curious if we showed someone Goodbye without showing them all of the Blackadder going before it, how well it would hold up. And that's kind of unfair.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other best finales of all time is 30 Rock, in my opinion, and I know I'm not alone in that. But it doesn't... Like, if I showed that episode to someone who'd never seen 30 Rock, they'd be like, what is...
Right, like, what is this?
This is lunacy. But, like, I actually think that Goodbye would still hold up pretty strong on its own.
It tells a story.
Mm-hmm. Very well.
Mm-hmm.
Hogan's Heroes would have been a very different show if in the final episode they have to fucking take on one of the concentration camps and get killed. Like,
mm-hmm. Oof.
That's brave to do what they fucking...
We figure it out next time, right?
Yes.
Because we're getting a bit long on the Blackadder.
Yeah, no, if there was an episode that was going to be the one we got the longest into, it's the one where we had to do 15
Episode
fucking
100.
trailers.
Episode 100.
Episode 100. All right. For 101, we are going to honor the Batman, the King, Kevin Conroy. We debated doing that this episode, but our release schedule versus when things happen is so wildly different that it's like a month and a half different anyways.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been current anyway.
We want to do something for Kevin Conroy because we fucking love Kevin Conroy, and this is generally accepted as his best thing. So we will be watching Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, fucking great. Anyways, thanks for 100 episodes. Hopefully we get a bunch more. Love doing this. In the meantime, we're your generals of nerdery. I'm Zach.
I'm Tyler.
Dismissed.
Hi everybody, General Tyler here. If you like the show, please hit subscribe however you're listening to us right now. Also, if you could rate and review us however you're listening to us right now, or preferably over at Apple Podcasts, we would super appreciate it, as the whole world is ran on algorithms, and we want to be all up in them, getting our voice out to more places. Also, tell your friends. We always appreciate that. If you want to get in contact with us, ask us questions, give us comments, email us generalnerderypod@gmail.com. You can also contact us through our website, www.generalnerdcast.com. While you're there, check out all of our back catalog, or click the links up at the top, as we are part of the Earworm Podcast Network. Go check out all of our sister shows. We're involved with most of them, so if you already like listening to us talk, it might be in your best interest. And if you want to check out everything from the network, head over to earworm.com, EARVVYRM.com. We'd super appreciate it. Love you all. Have a good one.